Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sage 2024 Showcase, and this time we have Tales Adventures. And honestly, it looks like I'm just running an emulator Game Gear ROM or something here, but no, this is actually a Sage game. Specific standalone EXE, in fact. Tales Adventure Remake is fully open source, apparently. This is the Tales Adventure Remake. Apparently there's a GitHub repository for source code, compilation tutorial, and bug tracker. So yeah, it's actually a PC game now. Join the Tales Adventure Remake Telegram channel for news and updates. That's an interesting place to have a news and updates area. Okay, fair enough. Some people do that. Telegram is less used than Discord, but it's easier to use. This describes itself as, well, it's just describing Tales Adventure here. Tales Adventure is a Sonic the Hedgehog spin-off game released for the Game Gear and featuring Tails in a solo role. Opposed to other Sega Master System and Game Gear Sonic titles, which try to bring famous fast-paced gameplay in an 8-bit world, Tales Adventure is a Metroidvania-like game focusing on exploration, collecting items, and backtracking. It's a really unique hidden gem of the series, which couldn't get the attention it deserves due to low popularity of the Game Gear. And that description is more or less accurate. Tales Adventure was an odd little title, and so far is, I think, the only game that had Tails as the only main Sonic character in it, and as the main character for the entire game. Obviously, Sonic Adventure has Tails with his story, but as far as the entire game being about Tails, this and Tails Sky Patrol, my bad, Tails Sky Patrol, also a Game Gear title, was another one, but completely started Tails. I don't know what it was, but yeah, for the Game Gear, Sega was just like, you know what, Tails should have a couple games of his own, which, that's cool. I wish they do that again, actually. But apparently, what this project is it's trying to bring Tales Adventures experience to modern platforms, pushing away Game Gear limitations, and implementing some quality of life improvements. More difficult but more fair gameplay, improved enemies and bosses, more smooth and responsive character physics, support for modern displays, varying aspect ratios and refresh rates. I don't see that last one really because it says I can alt enter the window, but it's actually just stuck in full screen for some reason. Maybe there's options in game or something they added. Game runs at your native resolution, displays sprites on fractional positions for smoother gameplay. Keyboard and Game Boy controls with customizable keybinds and analog stick support. Save system without password. Pause menu and options menu. I guess I have to get into the game to find those. Made up in the ground up in C++ without using any game engines to be less bloated, have maximum performance and portability. Okay. Well, we will see. So they want high performance out of this. We'll see if they actually got that. Latest demo apparently includes playable Poloi Forest, Volcanic Tunnel, Poly Mountain 1, Lake Rocky Cavern, and Karen Forest. Oh, wait, that's not actually a large chunk of the game. I may or may not play this entire demo. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how much fun I have. This game is an odd one. I wouldn't say it's... I give this game a 7 out of 10, like the original game. We'll see how they've polished things up, but the original game, 7 out of 10. It's an interesting game, interesting Metroidvania with Tails. It's actually a little too slow-paced, I feel, though. It's a bit of an odd gem, though. It's kind of an interesting game, but maybe not for everyone. But I guess we'll see how this remake has rebalanced things. Of course, before we begin, if you like the video, do think about giving a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, think about doing that as well. But if you really want to help out, think about coming over to Twitch. We're trying to reach a partner over here, but we need more viewers to do it. So if you want to come by, whether to lurk or to talk, think about doing so, because it does help out immensely, and we'd honestly love to have you. We also have a pretty cool Discord community if you want to check that out. I have a coffee link if you want to help directly monetize my content, and I have a merch store if you want to buy some cool merch. All links in the description, and you can check them out at your leisure. We also have Sheik and Reese here.
Evai!
We
And Fair was expecting updated graphics. No, it seems to be trying to be fairly faithful, but also polish things up. Sort of like those ROM hacks that just seek to maintain the original game, but also make things a little fancier. Also, hello, Benji. One thing I will say, first off, what did we title this? Tales Adventure Remake. Very good. So, one thing that is always confusing, you may notice on the title screen here, it says Tales Adventures. It's officially referred to as Tales Adventure, I believe. But the title screen does say Tales Adventures. Don't know why, it's always confused me a little bit. Let's go ahead and start up. We only can do new game and continue, so let's go do new game. Okay, here we are. Tales' house. I'm really curious where the options menu is, because you notice the part of the log, the little README file said that this game runs at your native resolution. I want to point out that I have a 1920 by 1080 monitor. Not huge, but for a Game Gear title, this is a bit much. I'd prefer it at a window mode. This is like, I'm having massive pixels here. But here's Tell's house. We have a regular bomb for starters, but this is where we can equip stuff. There's quite a few things to get.
Of course,
basically, you gather a bunch of items, you explore, you use the items, and you have to... That's part of the annoyance of the game, though. You can only have 4 items, so you might go into a stage and be like, oh, I need the thing, and then you have to leave, and you have to go back here and get the item, and then you can go back, you know? It's kind of a little bit pace-breaking. Oh, here we go, parameters. Man, I had to really look for the options here. All right, let's see. Pixel R, good game. I don't know what that means, but all right. So, oh no, 1 by 1. All right, fine. So VSync should work for this, but I'm just going to set a hard FPS limit. Okay. Oh, you're stretching. I see. I'd prefer you not. Thank you. And also, oh no. This changes nothing. It's full screen no matter what I pick. Why? Why can't I window you? It said Alt-Enter would let me window it, but it just doesn't. Damn it, it's so big. Hold on a second. Let me double check the write-up. It's like obnoxiously big. I kind of want it to be a bit smaller. And yet, they're not, okay, that's not good. One thing I'd like to notice, they're taking the original game and they're basically making an open source PC remake with quality of life features, improved performance, etc. So if one of the first things I run into is, oh, the resolution doesn't change when I change the resolution and I can't get out full screen despite there being a command for it, that's kind of not a good start for the purpose of the project, is it? If they're trying to make this more polished and a smoother experience, and I immediately cannot change the resolution and cannot window it despite them saying I can do so, kind of a bad first look, right? Yeah, so I guess I'll just be playing full screen because I literally don't have a choice, so... Though maybe if I select the resolution like ×2 and then I like quit the game and then I go back in, maybe then it would work? I was kind of weird to have the options of being buried in Tell's house and not like on the title screen or something. Also, how do I leave the game? I guess Alt F4 it is. Alright. Like, for the original Game Gear title, obviously these would not be problems. Okay, so I just tried to restart because I was like, oh, well, maybe if I restart it'll, you know, save the options, but no. I mean, it did save the options, actually. It's just still forced in full screen, so it doesn't matter. So weird. Alright, well, anyways. Guess I'll just be working with a giant screen. That's fine. We can also dock. I think we'll get a vehicle at some point. Now, I want to... Full disclosure, I never really played that far into Tales of Adventure. I've checked it out before, played it for like an hour, and then kind of backed out and was like, okay. Because it is a really slow-paced game. It's not... I wouldn't say it's exactly my cup of tea, even. But I do like it. I mean, it's Tales, man. I like Tales. Yeah, Polo Life 4... I like... Yeah, that's right. The game starts with... this. It was have a bomb. And that's how Tails is gonna fight. He can fly. Of course. Well, I say of course, but he couldn't actually fly in the original Sonic 2, and this is a pretty old game, so it wouldn't be terribly crazy if he couldn't. And also, the villains of this game are these bird guys. I forget their name. They're the something army. Hi, Angel Isaac too. Pretty much. Borger?
Oh,
How's
no,
it going? Also weird. Hi, McCoy.
Borger.
Well, we're basically just playing Tales of Adventure. We're gonna... So, we want to pay attention to the performance of this, by the way. Burger? No, they're not the Burger Army. I don't know why you're saying that.
Aww! I want to eat them!
Ah, yes. So, here's one example.
Deer is hungry.
Ow!
Can't go up that way. The flight is finally leveled. Leveled?
Yeah, I saw Tails with a bomb. I was like, of course.
Oh right, there's vaulting. I forgot that was a mechanic.
It's kind of interesting. It starts you in a fire level.
Yeah, right? I mean, Angel Island Act 2 did that too, but It's still kind of weird. You might notice that there's some annoyance when it comes to use of the bomb sometimes. The original started you at minimum flight, which immediately triggered Tails' tire sprite, which added to the atmosphere of the level. Oh, I see. So a lot of this game is explore a little bit of a level, run into stuff that you can't interact with, go, huh, that's weird, and then come back later when you have other items and see if they help. It's sort of like, it is a Metroidvania-like experience, but it's not a very, honestly, it's kind of a very messy one, but I guess for the era it wasn't too bad, but yeah. Oh, actually. Right, you can drop bombs straight down. Forgot about that. Also, no, we can't spin dash in this. I thought so, but I couldn't completely remember. Also, you can't move diagonally, too. That's worth... Oh, God. I didn't expect the vault there.
The Berber army sounds like a bunch of bears.
What was this army called, Zedjar, since you seem to know a bit about this game? I kind of forgot, but yeah, they're a bunch of birds. And they're trying to take over Tails' island. Because Tails has, like, an island now. This island has a name. I've forgotten what it was.
Tails just looks so happy in his walking animation.
It is a very cute little stroll he does. Da, 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 da.
Everything on fire behind him.
I just want to make sure. Alright. But you basically, it's kind of what you see. You kind of explore, test things. If you can't get through something, you come back later. The stages are definitely, like, it's stage-based, but, like, you can go back and forth between stages, and that's really the idea. Vaulting system comes in clutch. I think if I recall, the first time I played it, I wasn't aware of the vaulting system, so I never got up here. Which I think is a problem, because I think it's the only way to go. So I think my first run was very short-lived in this game, like, way back in the day.
Is that pronounced Battle Kook Empire?
The Battle Cuckoo Empire, thank you. They've never showed up again, but they're an interesting little faction of evil. Alright. If they want to prevent Tails from reaching an area they can just fly to, that's the wind is one way to do it. I just realized when Tails falls like that, he's doing the weird, like, circular falling that you could do in, like, like in Sonic 2 and 3, when you're on, like, one of those weird rotating wheels, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it is crossable, by the way, with a very careful jump. I don't know if it's supposed to be, though. I can't remember. I want that, actually. I'm gonna go down. Actually, not yet.
So what is it balance when you give the character the ability to fly?
Well, stamina meters is one way.
Definitely.
Alright, I can also crouch to toss a bomb. This looks very silly. I want this too. That's just a Chaos Emerald. I have no idea what they do in this game, actually, now I think about it.
Yeah, that must be part of every Sonic game.
He also has a very cute looking up animation. I like his sprites in this, honestly, they're quite cute. I think my main problem with the game is just like look at Look at I don't mind that this is a slower paced game than a normal Sonic game, but my god, Tails, you're just moseying everywhere. Like, you don't care. The fire is the fire. Ow! You know, I'll get around it. Oh, so I think I'm in the right area for... Let's see, where's that other item? It's an interesting experiment of a game, though. I have to go back an area. So I want that. I don't actually wait. I don't think I can get it. I think I require something else to get that. But let's go see what's down here, anyways. Yeah. So Tails, despite the fact that he can crouch, cannot crawl in there. You actually need a robot for that. So I guess this jump is actually intended to be done. It's just a little pixel tight. He's just being careful. Yeah, yippee! Yes, we need a robot for that. Now, we only have a Chaos Emerald, which I don't believe helps the city, so... Oh, there's a quit the map option. I don't believe that was in the original game. If anybody here is more well-versed in this game, could tell me what's been added here. That's actually quite nice if that is indeed, because I think that was part of the reason the game was so slow. Like, I think you had to, like, walk out of each level to, like, leave and come back and stuff. If I recall. Maybe there was a quit the map option before. I don't remember. It's been way too long since I last played this game. Oh, boss fight.
When you bump into a random boss fight. You gotta hit the back of it. But he doesn't really know what to do if you fly behind him, so this is teaching you flying, basically. Oh, wow. Dead! Gone.
Alright, there we go. Now we got the robot I was talking about. So you select that and then you can control this little dude. Which, yes, it can fly too. More interestingly, it doesn't really have a limitation with that. Oh my god, that's how slowly it comes back to me? I love Tails' little control panel, like it's like he's really excitedly playing like a little like an RC car or something.
I know, I do need to go here, so.
Alright, I'll see you later, Reese.
Yep, see ya.
See you later, Reese.
Very first thing we want to do is immediately backtrack because, well, obviously there's an item back there. Look at it. I just realized, like, wait a minute, this thing is invincible, right? Yeah. I think it is, anyways. Yeah, it is. So, like, yeah, I don't... So Tails doesn't have to play the level now. At least for the moment. So you may notice there's no limited range with this thing. You can just kind of go... And yes, as you may be able to expect... Oh, right, this. A flying test. Tails makes good shit, yeah. As you might be able to guess, it can absolutely grab you items. Okay, there we go. There's only one bad thing about taking him through most of the level. Really, so we're doing So this... Remember, this is a remake trying to create improvements and stuff. One improvement I could think of is make me not have to wait for the animation, but you know. Oh yeah, by the way, radio? I just... new music now.
Radio! Song of Radio.
There's more than one, too, which is kind of impressive. Wait a minute, did the original radio have more than one? I don't remember. Maybe. But in case, you know, in case Tails wants to happily mosey around the forest that's literally fucking engulfed in fucking flames, you know, just change the music. Now things feel a lot better. You know what these themes make me think of? Oh, I was just going through the soundtrack, actually. Well, these first two songs make me think of, like... Okay, deep cut. You ever play one of the older Pokemon games that had the radio and then you could turn on, like, the Pokemon March song and then the Wild Encounters are increased or something?
Oh, yeah!
That's what it makes. It makes me think of, the, like, the little Pokemon song that makes Wild Encounters increase. Oh, it's random, actually. So I can just... Can I change it as well? Oh yeah, it just maintains. For that screen, okay. But yeah, it looks like if I spam the radio, I can just listen to the entire game soundtrack, but like randomly. So I don't get to choose it, but you know. Nice. Yeah, the Game Gear had cute little music tracks. Not exactly powerful sound hardware, but I like how it sounds. Alright, so we can go back to Tails' house to switch out our loadout anytime. Right now it doesn't really matter, but it actually kind of does, because the radio is actually pointless. But despite that, I do believe you're required... Like, I don't think you can put items back. I'd love to make a slot. Open a slot. Well, actually, what's the red Chaos Emerald? Okay, we have the red Chaos Emerald. It is not an item we can equip. Anyways, I'd like to put the radio away to open up 2 slots for new items, but oh well. We'll just have to swap it out later. So let's go to Volcanic Tunnel. But remember, the Pole Forest still had stuff we didn't do, but there was stuff we could interact with, so... Ah! I think it's a bug. Get rid of it.
Kill it!
So here you have to be a bit sneaky. Because the blocks to this area are a little bit secretive about where they are. You have to pay attention. Also, you may notice that we can only collect 10 rings in this game. Weird bat thing. Go away. What do we got here? Ah, hammer. I believe that will break some of the walls in the forest. I think. Those, like, darker ones. In fact, I think they just, in general... It's just a hammer. Just a hammer. It's just a hammer, man. I don't know. You know, Tails is gonna channel his inner Amy Rose over a little bit here. I can't use it here, but... I believe they can also break these, but I'm not sure. Let's find out. Yes, it can. Ow! A Potoboo. I find it funny that it's...
The Potoboos are a thing.
I forgot they were here, too. I like how their animation... In Mario, they would normally go, like, shoot upwards, and then their sprite would turn upside down when they went back down, but this is just one sprite that doesn't turn around, which I find kind of funny. It's like a Potoboo with less animation. The hammer is technically less functional here, but it does serve a purpose later, I believe. We'll just keep going through the volcanic tunnel for now, but...
I hate that my brain keeps on hearing the hamburger.
Why is your brain... Wait, for what?
The hammer.
You're in a real hamburger... You're gonna put me in a hamburger mood. Careful. I can't eat a hamburger. It would make me sad if you did that to me. The reason I say it is because I have a new... I'm trying to save money a lot better now, and basically I can only have fast food on Saturdays. That's the new rule. So...
I don't mean to.
Oh! These guys drop bombs. Not that it's a problem for me, but, like, it's kind of funny. I don't know. Can I? No. That is the screen transition I need to do with Tails. What does this think of lava? Oh, okay. When I said it's invincible, I meant it, apparently. Oh, this is a mean jump. Wait, how can I even do this jump? Oh, hello. Oh, come back. What? It's gonna hurt it, but I guess I can't now. Sad. Anyways, I can go up that way, but I want to see what's down here first. So I believe we can jump just high. This is a really tricky jump. Actually, I don't think I could do that jump, thinking about it. Like, even if yeah, I can't. I think, oh, what am I doing? What am I thinking? I can fly with this thing. I was like, I looked at this and immediately thought, oh, careful platforming challenge, and then I was like, oh wait, I can just fly. I just looked like a careful platforming challenge, so I would treat it like one.
To be fair, it did.
It did. It looked like I did edge jumps, and it was going to be interesting. Actually, you know what? I should check with this round. Also, later it may be able to attack. I think the robot gets an upgrade at some point. I can't remember, though. So we can progress, but I think I actually want to leave for a second and go equip some new items. Actually, nah. I'll keep going. I feel like we need that remote bomb that we just got, but... Oh. Actually, yeah, I think we need the remote bomb. Unfortunately, because I had the audacity to pick up the radio, I can now not do so. You know, if they really wanted to make, like, whenever somebody is like, I'm gonna take this game, and I'm gonna ROM hack it, or I'm gonna remake it, and I'm gonna make it, like, more polished. But then they want to keep it faithful, too. And it's like, it's a hard line to find, right? Like, how do you keep something faithful, but also improve it when it comes to, like, remaking or hacking something? And
something has to give.
In my personal opinion here, I really wish they had added the feature to switch my items without going back to Tails' shop. I'm gonna guess they kept it that way because that would be keeping it faithful to the original design. But honestly, it's the worst part of the game, in my opinion. The fact that I have to, like, leave, and now, see, here's where this comes into play. See, now, if I wanted the Euro Bomb, I have to now come all the way back here, put it in my equipment, and now I have it. Now, wouldn't it be way nicer if you could just select all of this equipment anywhere in a stage? Would that break the game? I don't think it would. Would it make it a little faster than it normally was? Probably.
Maybe?
It would be faster to play through in that regard, but I don't think that'd be a problem. But yeah, so that's like the number one, like, when it came to this, like, honestly, it's what I was hoping for with this remake, because when I saw that this was like, oh, this is like a remake to, like, improve the game, the first thing I thought was, oh, cool, does that mean I can use items in stage? Can I switch items in stage? Because when you think about it, it is like, this is kind of a Metroidvania, but the one big thing it doesn't share with other Metroidvanias is, well, a lot of them is, a lot of Metroidvanias let you change your equipment. Like, if you're like, oh, I need this thing to get over this wall, you can just switch to it, you know? You don't have to, like, leave the level entirely to go switch it out. In most cases, mind you. There are certainly some cases where that still has to be done, but... Oh, I did not mean to hit it back. Oh, well, whatever. I need to get through there with Tails anyways. Also, they could have improved this by making me not have to wait for this to come all the... Look at this, look at this. We have to wait for this. So the further our robot gets away from Tails, the longer we have to wait for it to return. May as well walk it back at that point. Oh yeah, robot bombs. Let me get this straight. They're just bombs? Oh, they're just bombs, but they blow up when you ask them to. I forgot about that. Okay, you know what?
You have to ask politely.
I would switch out. I would empty out the other bomb slots since they're basically just bombs, but on a timer of my choosing. But I can't really do that, so. No, I don't believe. Yeah, they won't break that. Okay. Yeah, that's still inaccessible. So, wait, hold on. Hammer though. Is it inaccessible to hammer? Yes. That's another thing about this game that's a little tedious. Like, if you don't know what everything does, you just gotta kind of go back to old levels and be like, what's this do, right? Like, what's the hammer gonna do? It breaks blocks like the bombs do. Is that all it does, or do you think it does something else? Oh, what the? Apparently you can push the spring. I was not aware of this. But to what end?
The right.
I definitely pushed it to the right. Oh! They didn't expect me to fly up this, they expected me to use the spring.
But why?
I do appreciate that Tails can give himself airtime with a hammer. Good work, bud. Boop. Boop. It's kind of fun to use. Boop. It's like legitimately less effective than the bombs, but it's fun. Boop. 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 It's like bop. It looks like one of those toy hammers, right? Bop.
Yeah. Oh my god,
Bop.
that's what it reminds me of.
Okay, I can't pop that.
Ah.
Bop. Right in the head.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna say it straight up. I don't know why they're remaking the game, yet they don't provide me the ability to switch my items on the fly. Because that's legitimately the worst part of the game, in my opinion. Also, I could have left the other way. I can leave through the video, I do appreciate that. I don't know if that was added by the developers of this remake or not, but...
Also, thank you for following. Who's followed? Let's see. Gabe Stormrider followed. Also, Star Platinum 69 also followed earlier, as well as Ice Cleric, and yeah, some people on YouTube too.
I forgot that it actually tells me about YouTube subscriptions. So anyways, I think you see the problem in this game, right? It's actually, moment to moment, it's actually quite charming, but Tails is quite slow. That's fine in itself, but then also, you're constantly backtracking for items. Not only backtracking the levels, mind you, but backtracking to switch your items, because, like, right now it's not too big of a deal, but later on, trust me, you get so many items, and it's gonna be like, well, damn, what do I bring to the stage? And then you're like, shit, I chose wrong, now I have to get something else. Also, that's weird. The bomb, the bomb broke the blocks without breaking itself. Interesting. The sheer force of Tails' throw is very strong.
Hello, Gabe. How you doing? Also, pause. Yay.
Pause. Pause are always welcome here.
By the way, rings are completely pointless if you have 10 of them. So you got a limited hit system, basically. Oh, what was that? I heard something.
Oh, that was my text tone, sorry.
That's okay. Sounds like a Digimon thing. Okay, so the Robot Bomb, now that I actually have it equipped, You can't actually go. You can actually go up this way, but I think that's because you have to throw a bomb in here. Yeah, that's it. I'm not sure why those aren't just full blocks. Why they're like half blocks? That looks kind of weird. Oh, it does stop moving after a while. I thought it just went forever. So careful. Careful now. Careful. It's a bit of a tight jump, honestly. You also may notice there's a lot of, like, blind jumps where, like, you could just drop into lava, like, at this stage. Alright, then. Oh, I will. Oh, I just realized something. The normal bomb has one weakness. It doesn't get chucked as far as the normal bomb. Which, yeah, fair enough. Bye. Look at this guy. Oh, there he goes. But yeah, like, so you could drop bombs with like, wait, how are you supposed to get? Well, you can get that with the robot, I guess, but wait, how would you? Okay, the robot can also later drop bombs, I believe. I think that's how you're supposed to get that. I've never played past this stage, I don't believe, by the way. I really haven't put that much time in Tales of Adventure in previous runs. I was just checked it out as a curiosity and then I dropped it. Also, this enemy's placement, man. Actually, you know what? I can't kill it with this, but you know what I can do? Oh, this again. Did we already learn I don't have any way of getting through that? Wait, what? Guys, there was an earlier section where I used the bomb and that didn't work. Oh, don't tell me. I think I know why it didn't work, actually. I think I understand. Unfortunately, this stage is a little more dangerous, so backtracking is a little harder. I gotta go back. I think I know why I couldn't break that earlier. And it's really, really dumb. Let's see. Where was that point where I couldn't break through? Oh, he dropped the bomb and I didn't see it. Ah. Wait, actually, wasn't it? No, wait a minute, I went too far, didn't I? And Valentine came by and said he'd never seen anybody play this game before. All I know is that Tails has access to 8-ball. He does have access to quite a few gadgets. Also, it's a very early Metroidvania type game, which has its flaws, but it's interesting. It's kind of hard to play, admittedly. Like, I personally think that it's a little too slow. But this remake is apparently supposed to improve a bunch of things. I'm not really sure what's improved, because I don't know this game, like, super well. They did not improve the #1 thing I would have liked to see changed, and that was the ability to access items anywhere. That would be the best change ever. I'm trying to remember where... It's right here. So this is... Okay, so that doesn't blow up, right? Oh, that's so weird. It's just like the wall above, but this one can't be broken. Why? This is the other problem with this game. It's sometimes weirdly obtuse. Like, hey, you can break that. Cool. So I can break anything that looks like that? Nope. Like, oh, okay. It's very strange. It's basically a Metroid. To its credit, Metroidvanias were not really a huge genre by this point of the, at this point of this game's release. So this game does not benefit from a lot of quality of life features other Metroidvanias have. I guess those blocks are slightly different. But yeah, I need something else. Like fit in the gap, please. Oh, what the? I didn't even know souls could break, but hey, they kind of broke them by accident, so that works out. Oh, I see. I can break anything I'm staying on. I guess the robot's a good way to check down somewhere if you're like not sure somewhere's safe. like I just barely clipped it. Alright, what's this? Chaos Emerald! It's the green one, I think. Oh god. I like jumped into danger there. Okay. I think that's, like, specifically a place where the hammer was needed, that right there. Actually, I think about it. Yeah, totally can. Well, can I? No, Tails cannot use the hammer while he's flying, so... You can only use it during a jump. Not if you've already started flight, you can't do it, so... I'll have to bring those another way. Wait a minute, hold on. When did my max rings go to 12? Oh, maybe the Chaos Emeralds are giving me, like, 2 extra rings each time or something? Like, maybe they're increasing my maximum health, so to speak? Okay. Balsar, hello. For charms, Kobold Zik. Well, that does seem sort of fitting. Yeah, we got the red and green now. And let's go over to Polygon 1. Huh. I think Tails just, like, grabbed his bomb and took it, rather than it blowing up. But that was weird. So that's something else I can't break in this current time. These enemies are very silly, if you notice. But I admire their careful bouncing of spikes. I don't know why I'm going after rings, given that I'm full right now, but, you know, whatever. Yep, so what's really annoying is that, like, there's all these, like, oh yeah, here's some blocks you can break. Okay, what do they break on? I guess you'll just have to test, because there's 5 million things that break blocks. Like, the problem is that this isn't like, oh, I got the thing that can break blocks. You got the thing that can break certain blocks, and then there's another type of block that can be broken by another thing, and another type of block that can be broken by another. You see, it's very confusing. Wait a minute, I could have sworn, that time, those blocks I just broke, could have sworn. Yeah, that was like, what the hell? Those blocks there are identical to the blocks I just broke. What? Like, graphically at least, you know? I don't understand, man. It's a very simple game, yet it's strangely obtuse sometimes. Oh, the flight time has been extended, hasn't it? Thank you. I didn't actually notice that until you pointed it out. Also, why is there a thin path to get this? I could just grab it. Helmets. I don't remember what that does. Also, notice that this is the first time we've had a split path. We can go left, we can go right, or we can go up, so... What I like is that the wind only exists if Tails is flying. I guess it's implying that, you know, he's like catching the wind and he's gliding with it, but it's kind of silly. I just completely ignored the right path, but that's fine. We'll come back to it later. Tails uses the Kitsune powers to manifest wind. Possibly. Tails as a Kitsune sounds neat. I guess they kind of did that with that one TV show. Sort of. Ninetales. Or rather, 9. I was spinning a moment. We're trying to remember this game had bombless pits. Turns out, no. Well, not currently. Let me put it that way. Oh. Like, that didn't count as a bombless pit, but it didn't count as a bad pit, I suppose. Ah, you have to go around the other way anyways for that. But yeah, this game is fine. Why did I do that? I knew there was a pit down there. The wind is really trollish, though, if you may notice. It's placed in such a way to force you to platform and stuff, which... I mean, fair enough, I guess, right? But... I think the big problem I have with it is that it just kind of comes out of nowhere. It's just like, oh, okay, I guess I'm doing that. Like, here, I don't actually... Oh, wait, I think... Hold on. Yeah, so... This jump's impossible. Our little propeller guy can make it through. Oh, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to sit back. Whoops. He just fell. He just kind of left. I actually had to press B to summon him back.
My singing killed him!
So I don't believe I can progress here at this moment. Oh, I think I remember. The helmet, I believe it prevents the wind, I want to say. Well, we can't go that way right now. And I can't equip the helmet because the game doesn't let me do that on this screen. Again, that's the #1 thing I would have liked to see in the remake, so the fact they didn't do it kind of annoys me. Like, if your whole objective is to increase quality of life, then why the hell... Oh. Why the hell would you not let me... I don't know. Going back to Tails' house to equip items is like the most pace-breaking thing, in my opinion, about this game. Speaking of which, I will quit the map in a minute, but I have another path to take. Ah! The platform pushed me off the ledge like a jerk. Doesn't help as much as I had hoped it would. Oh, fun fact, I have to quit the map because I actually can't backtrack there. Alright. Cool. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna just equip the worst... I'm gonna replace the bomb, the regular bomb. I like its story arc, but I'm gonna replace it with the, helmet?
Helmet.
Well, I was going to, but it's not on my items. That was quite a stretch you just made.
Sorry, had to.
I suppose, I'll take the lower path now. I don't know what the helmet does, then. I'm gonna guess it's like a passive item or something? Because I certainly grabbed it, obviously, that's why I know it's a helmet.
I'm saying now I'm yawning.
What's that?
You were yawning, which is for some reason making me yawn.
I'm only yawning because you stretched. It's your fault for stretching.
Ah!
Because I usually stretch and yawn at the same time, so... Woo.
Tails ate the helmet.
I don't think they're that tasty. You shouldn't do that. Alright, so this path. Man, the gravity here is kind of whack, actually. Okay, let's see. Or the wind is kind of whack, rather. Like, I kind of want to slip in there, I guess? And just like... Okay, maybe not. The wind... Oh my... Which way am I going?!
Yes!
The wind doesn't know, and won't tell me. Ow, fucking hell.
That sounds like a very insane proverb. The wind doesn't know, and it won't tell me.
That was a case of needing to bide my time. And I don't believe this game actually has bottomless pits, so it's actually fine to explore. Rather, it's happy to drop you into, like, spikes or something, though. Ah, see, it was worth going down here because I got this. The Super Glove!
Super Glove!
Pretty sure that is equivalent. I think I did play this stage. I can't quite remember. Whoa! Okay, we're good. Somehow avoid damage there. Does the Super Glove just increase your throwing range with the bombs? I can't remember. Oh, you can look down. It just takes 5 years. Okay. Good to know. So, I like games where you can hold down to look down, but it takes 5 years to do it, right? Like, come on. Oh. Yeah, I mean, this seems pretty faithful as far as, like, you know, this is an open source version of this, and it seems to be running just fine. It's just... I could definitely... Is this a death? Oh my god, it's a death pit. Why the hells are... I guess never mind, they're all bonus pits. I was, like, thinking in the back of my mind, like, wait, are there any? Yeah. Turns out. Also, I like how the guys that throw rocks, it looks like they're about to do some calisthenics or something, honestly. And a one, and a reach your feet, and it's like... it looks like they're just gonna make an exercise video or something. Oh, there's our rival for the game. It's that guy.
I forgot we had a rival.
Yeah, there's a rival in this game. Green Bird.
Oh no, not Greenbird.
Honestly, the whole bird empire and stuff and everything, like, it makes me think of, like... Oh god, what are the Babylon 5? Or what were they called? The guys in Sonic Riders, you know, the birds. The birds, which are also rivals.
Babylon 5.
Babylon Rogues. Okay, that's it. Babylon Rogues, yeah. Well, he kind of makes me think of that a little bit. So you notice his whole boss fight is, I'm gonna dive bomb you repeatedly. What? I was very confused by the wind just, like, going like, yeah, I'm done. Like, oh, okay.
The wind's out of here.
Oh, and then it came back. What the hell?
The wind decides.
No! Oh my god, that clutch. Thank you for the volt. I would have fallen all the way back down. How long is this motherfucking section? Too long. Oh!
Way too long.
I died. I forgot that when he runs out of rings, he immediately dies. Okay. I thought I was good for one more hit, but no. No. It doesn't work like normal Sonic, apparently. That is a long-ass section, though, I'd like to know. My god. Wait, did I... Hold on. Actually, since I already left anyways. Yeah, here it is, Super Glove. I'm gonna put that on. I guess let's try that again. So here's the Super Glove. It does nothing. By itself. I guess. Actually, I don't know what this thing does.
All I know is it's very handy.
I think it might let me pick up something. I don't remember what it does, honestly. Somebody want to look it up? There's a manual for this game. It's a Game Gear game. It had manuals back then. Cool. Okay, what does it let me pick up, though, I wonder? Maybe it lets me pick up these terrible blocks here that I can't otherwise get out of the way. Nope, it tells it's trying to push very aggressively. Ugh. It's actually kind of annoying to have to replay the whole stage just to get back to that boss fight, I guess. But so be it. It will be done.
Oh my god, really?
Random item looking rock thing at level 1 and springs. Oh yeah, that rock I push and the springs I push. Basically, if I could push I could pick it up. What was that rocky? Did that rock serve a purpose that I do not understand or something?
I don't know.
Good. Gonna go into this fight with like no rings again, aren't I? That's the other dastardly thing. They didn't really provide you many rings. Well, I don't know if you noticed, but the game was like throwing rings everywhere earlier, but now it's like right before this really long section, no rings. Like the enemies might drop some if I'm lucky, but it's all RNG. It's also RNG whether they jump up or forward. Yeah, forward, dangerous.
No.
Originally, the boss had a pause between you flying up and die by you, so you basically got attacked far less, basically. It does feel very active here. Fuck. You wouldn't think bird throwing rocks would be the worst thing ever, but it kind of is. Well, I could take 2 hits. We'll just have to take no... Ideally, let's take none. The main thing here is to make sure you're not getting die bum when you're vaulting, because that puts you at a disadvantage.
Why does this music sound extremely Mega Man-esque?
I can see it a little bit. So basically, they made the boss harder in this, by reducing his leg frames. Interesting decision.
When people complain that it was too easy or something like that?
I like how they went... I wish they had sped up the gameplay of the game by, like... make it so you could switch up items and stuff, but... like, in the level, but... instead they were like, nah, we'll just speed up the boss, not you. I do like how there's just, like, a little break in the wind there for no reason.
It's for aesthetic.
Honestly, this section's kind of a jerk to get through, because, like, there's, like, not a lot of room, you know? It's very important that I kite him. Oh. That was such a weird animation, like, I'm just gonna adjust. It's like, ah, you got to the top, have this item. It's a casserole. It's the P one. Yay. Purple or pink, I'm not sure which. Oh, by the way, I guess we built a sub. I don't know.
Yay!
Oh, this is where we're gonna equip the Vulcan gun into it, I guess. And yeah, this is a dock, you see. So now we can like use that to go to Lake Rocky, or we can just not dock and go to the other level. So yeah,
Time for the docks to dock.
I don't think I've ever gone this far before. Like when I was playing before, so I don't really know how this... Oh god. I like how it's by default not equipped. Alright, cool. Well, it is a Vulcan gun from what I could tell. Oh, interesting. So the other button actually turns me around, so I can, like, strafe. Okay. And by the way, now that we have another Chaos Emerald, we have a maximum of 14 rings. There's something up here. I wanted to make sure. You know, one thing they could have added as a quality of life feature for this remake that they didn't? I don't know if you noticed, but I can't go diagonally. The Game Gear didn't allow for that, and fair enough, but, like, I'm trying to understand what the purpose of this remake is. Like, it's cool that it's an open source project. I guess maybe right now, maybe all they cared about was just making a one-to-one functional version of the game for PC, because there's a lot of things that I would do in a remake that this just isn't doing. Including, like, diagonal support. That would actually be very nice, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, it's kind of, like, especially with the sub, you notice how, like, I have to do, like, stair-step pattern movement? It's actually kind of annoying. Like, I wish I could just go... Like, right now, if I'm holding diagonally down and right and see what happens. That's right, nothing, because that's not a valid input. Oh, right! The drill's not for show, I just remembered. Good that Tails had the good thought to equip his submarine with a drill. I didn't know how he knew that was going to be important, but good work. Obviously, I can't really drill upwards, though, at this time. I like how the glass undulates with Tails. It's a very flexible cockpit, I guess. I don't know.
Undulates is such a weird word.
Kind of. Okay, why is it... Every time it keeps defaulting to the third slot when I get into sub and when I switch screens with the sub. It defaults to the third slot, leaving me defenseless. What? Tails just simply wants something to spin in the front of his vehicles. Oh, I get it. For his vehicles, he wants something to spin in the front, and for himself, he wants something to spin in the back. That way, he has full spinning coverage. Oh, right, I have a drill, so I can also hurt them with that, even though I missed.
Why does that just sound like an advertisement? Full spinning coverage!
It's full spinning coverage. Sounds like a really weird, like, Englishly translated ad for a washing machine. I'm sure you guys are noticing that the number one problem with this game is it's kind of just slow. It's not like the gameplay itself is bad or anything. It's actually kind of cute, but it's just so slow. It's just so slow. Which is kind of bad when you need to explore levels, right?
Hey.
Like, here's two paths. Alright, I'm gonna check both, but you go down one, and... I do notice that things are moving more smoothly. You may notice that, like, for those mines, it's very obvious for the mines, but I can tell that this remake has smoothed things out a bit, because, like, those mines are moving sub-pixels. You know, they're moving on sub-pixels, which on the original Game Gear, they could not do that. And if you don't know what sub-pixels means, it basically means they're moving in between the big chunky pixels we're looking at.
Ah.
Just think about it, it'd be a lot more choppy on the original Game Gear, because every object would have to move pixel by pixel. But you see how these are not moving pixel by pixel?
Eek.
Yeah. That does look nicer. It gives me more of an idea of, like, where is this, how am I going to run into it, etc. And, yeah, obviously, Tails is also moving on sub-pixels if it isn't obvious, as well as the enemies. The mines just make it super obvious because they move diagonally, unlike me. Okay, so the game keeps defaulting to the third slot here, which I'm glad that my drill was able to take those guys out, because it looked like a bad position I was in there. Fortunately, the drill got them because I kept having my Vulcan switched off for some unknown reason, a bug is the answer. It's a bug, but... Okay, so we can go up here. God, I wish I could move diagonally. I understand how the original Game Gear, but... Yeah, I kind of feel like this remake is doing a good job with the basics, I suppose. Like, it's... I suppose it has... I'm assuming this is in an early state, and they want to add a lot more to it to actually make the remake a remake. But for now, they were just concerned about getting things working for the base game. So, I have an up and a right path. I guess I'll go right first, but I have to remember there's an up path as well. Well, I mean...
Well then.
Okay then, sure. I mean, shrug, I guess. Let me just go back and take the up path now. Wait, I took... Wait, what? Wait, why am I taking damage now? Oh! I think the rule of the drill is that if you move forward into the enemy, you take damage, but if you sit there and let them run to you, they take damage. I don't really know what the rules is, actually. Or maybe it was just bugged earlier, and now it's not bugged. Also, watch this. I have Vulcan selected, now I don't. That's a really silly little bug. Wonder how that happened. Welcome back, Fair. But you guys see my point. Like, this game is fine. But it does require a degree of patience because it's a very early Metroidvania and they didn't figure out all the things you're supposed to do in a Metroidvania to make it more, you know, efficient and flow better. It doesn't have that Metroidvania flow that you would probably expect to have in modern Metroidvania. So yeah, I'll just mosey on over here, I guess. Oh yeah, so you do take damage when that happens. Well, that bug is really annoying when you enter that screen specifically, because you gotta quickly switch to your Vulcan or you will just not have your attack. Which, you kinda want that, you know? Oh! So when I said there was an up path, I lied, apparently. Oh, maybe that's not in the demo. Maybe that does go somewhere normally, but it's unfinished, so. Cedra said I play was severely ill, and it's time wasted aspect work. Wonder is very situational, though. Oh, yeah, I can understand remembering fondly in that situation, definitely. So anyways, Cavern Island here. Did you know that Tails is extremely buoyant? Alright, anyways. Oh, I kept my rings for the previous stage? Oh, okay.
Nice.
No. What I mean is I kept the fact that I was low on rings.
Oh! Not nice!
Not so nice. Not quite as nice, unfortunately. Oh. It was a trap. Damn it, I just wanted those... I just wanted some rings. Being pulled away from rings is so rude. Alright, back to the top.
I'll be right back. We're gonna have dinner.
Okay. I wonder if she's gonna get burgers.
Burger!
So, everybody likes a water maze, right? With water currents, you can't really choose where you're going, and it's so much fun. But if you're wondering, no, I've tried to bear right there, it did not let me, so I have to go down this way. That's a bullshit enemy. I mean, like, I kind of wasn't ready for that game, but alright. That I should have been ready for. Ah, yes, the Kirby levels. Yes, exactly. Aha! Gotcha. I guess we are gonna finish the demo, because I forgot these stages are actually not that long, so... May as well. Oh god. Jump scare enemy. I like how passive those mice are, though. They just kind of sit there. Oh, Tails, by the way, can't fly underwater. Which is extremely disappointing, in my opinion. For a very simple reason. In most Sonic games, if he can fly, he can swim. He just does flying, but doggy paddle. And that is the best thing ever, and he should be able to do it here. And I think he can get it as an upgrade, maybe? I don't really remember. I've gone past the point of the game. We've now gone past the point of the game where I know how things work, so... I don't actually remember. Wait, this is a pointless thing. Nope, he just can't fly? That's sad. I want that item. I mean, he just can't swim, I should say. I guess that's why he has the sub, huh? Well, I'm glad I brought the glove. Though actually, I could probably just push it. Wait. How does one use the glove? I have the glove equipped, but I still can't pick up the string. Maybe it's only for those rocks or something? What do we got here? Oh, it's a mine! I think that's for the sub. If I recall. Wait, do I have to... Hold on a second. Do I have to reset the screen just to get the string back positioned so I can use it again? I feel like the glove maybe should be able to pick that up, but it certainly doesn't work, so... Well, guess I'll just restart the stage. What's this? Okay, let's see. Yeah, okay. It's fine. The good thing about a stupid water maze is that once you figure out where to go, it's a little faster. Explosions! Quite a few of them. Wow, that was a big clutch, actually, that attack. Uh-oh. I just realized if that enemy had hit me, I would have actually died because of my ring count. worries. To see if I can find any more rings. Oh god. Honestly, any level can be directed by Michael Bay if you're playing Stealth. It appears that if you quit the map, you don't keep your items you got. Well, that leaves me at a real fucking quandary. Yeah, I feel like you need the glove, because you need to move the glove over there to get the item, but then you're literally trapped. You're literally trapped down here. Like, you need the spring here, right? Okay, there is one way that I could do this without the working glove. But it requires absolute precision. There is one way to do this. Down and use, maybe? See, I actually tried that. I also tried up and use. I hope this works. We'll see in a second. Yes, it will work, but it's going to be stupid and finicky about it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there is a way, thanks to the fact that Charm breaks games. Charm also knows how to fix games sometimes. Or sometimes Charm knows how to do something in a weird way so as to avoid an issue. But yeah, it looks like that. Okay, so what have we learned? We have learned that the bug is gloved, and if you like using the submarine's Vulcan too bad, it's going to randomly, like, remove itself from the... It's going to switch back to the third slot for some reason over and over again. I don't know why it does that. But, hooray! I got around a problem soft lock thing. And Tails really has extreme vaulting strength, doesn't he? Where's this go? Oh, it does go around. I don't know why I thought that would be useful to me. But yeah, the only way I could make the spring work for me in that situation was by pixel edging it off the... I didn't have to be that pixel perfect with it, but basically I had to push it partially off of the floor it was on, but not all the way, so that I could then use it to spring upwards to get the item. But since I didn't make it fall down all the way, that also meant I could push it back the other way with a little finagling. And by doing that, we're good, so... Thank goodness that works. Because otherwise we would actually be unable to progress and get the sea mine at the same time. And I don't know if we need the sea mine to finish the demo. We might need to finish the demo. I'm not really sure. Okay, that was literally floating on nothing. That's cool. So I see a few paths to go here. Yep, that water spits you out. Figured as much. What about this water? Alright. This is just a... This whole area exists for being a... Oh, you went the wrong way, now backtrack sort of section. Noted, and I will not go that way. I bet you if you jump there, you just get taken by the current. Also, I'm noticing, shockingly, Tails doesn't seem to drown now. Tails has unlocked the ability of water breathing in this game specifically, and only this one. Well, I don't really know how I was supposed to avoid that, but okay. I mean, yeah, there's a look down option, but I don't even know if that would have been usable there. There we go. So, if we're looking at this remake from a... Did they get the baselines? Did they get the baseline functionality well? Yes, I think they did. Did they actually remake anything? Not really. There's a few little quality of life features like you know, options menu and stuff, but overall, this is like not very remakey yet. Maybe in time it will be. So let's see, what would they want to do? More difficult but more fair gameplay, improved enemies and bosses. Oh, you know what? The flying guy who dive bumped us. It does state here. Excuse me. It does state here, improved enemies and bosses, so I think the developer thought they were improving the bird maybe by making them dive faster. I mean, it wasn't insurmountable or anything, but I don't know, man. I shrug. Is that an improvement? I'm not sure. It seems like more of a, I feel like this boss should be faster, rather than that actually improving anything. It's more of a preference thing, you know? Okay. Okay, you know what? That was actually really clutch, what I just did. That was a timed, like, hey, bomb this wall before you fall. And I just barely managed it. Because, you see, I can't throw a bomb if I fly. I can drop a bomb, but it's not helpful in this situation. So, that was really clutch, right, what I did here, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to get in here. The fact that I didn't break all the blocks, and I did fall, but that was enough. And my reward is a napalm bomb, as you should, as any reward for such skill should be. Oh god, okay. Didn't expect them to swoop like that. Ah! Okay, so we can go left here? I'm gonna go left. Right probably leads to, like, a current, right? Oh. Oh? Okay. Actually, I'll check right. Now I'm more curious about right. That looks kind of final, wherever that goes. Oh, or is this just a loop around so I can try? It's just a loop around. I didn't. That makes sense. Okay, that was actually kind of difficult what I just did there. That was a good move I just pulled up. So they actually considered that and let you try again, basically. Nice of them. Alright, let's go see. I think there's a boss over here, I imagine. It looks like a boss arena. What do we got? What are you doing with your hand? Okay. He's got a grabby hand. Oh my god, that gives me... Oh no. Flashbacks to be attempting a challenge run of Evo's Search for Eden and dealing with, fucking, what's his name? I forget the name of the final boss. But he has a grabby hand, too. It's kind of like that, actually. Alright, how am I supposed to... Not that way, if you're wondering. What are we trying to hurt here? Ah, okay. That's logical, I suppose. Oh! Silly bombs. That's actually more concerning. Hey, he attacks kind of quick, doesn't he? Thinking about it. I think I just need to damage race this. I can barely move out of the way. That's good. No. I died. Damn it. See, dying in this really sucks, because not only does it dump you to the title screen, but... So, did you enjoy playing that whole level? Do it again. Like, wow, yay! Actually, you know what? Quit the map. Hold on. And, like, just one life. That's all you have, right? It's a little sad. Guess I'll equip the mine. Oh, yeah, I have napalm, right? I don't know what that does, actually. I guess the super glove can be removed. It's actually useless, so... the napalm. I might let me open up some stuff. Actually, I think I know specifically what I could do. Not affect those guys. The birds won, sadly. Yeah, it has to be ground-based, I see. Thanks, anti-gravity fire. I'm pretty sure in the forest here, very early on, was an area I couldn't, Yeah, down there. Yep. I did it. Spark. I don't remember what that does either, actually. Wait, it just occurred to me, couldn't I just remove both of my bombs and then go into a stage and get to a boss fight that requires my bombs and then not be able to kill the boss? Also, I gotta leave the stage manually because if I quit the map... Do I have Spark? Yeah, see, I don't have Spark. Unless it's a dock item. Nah. So, quit the map doesn't keep your items. That bothers me, actually. Again, I think if the original game was that way, but... Once again... What's this remake remaking? Because it seems to be... Like, there's a lot... Like, I honestly, when I saw this, the reason I wanted to check out this remake, by the way, for those wondering, because I didn't really explain. Tales of Adventure is an interesting but very slow and kind of flawed game. So when I heard that, oh, somebody wants to remake it, I was like, oh, cool, maybe they can improve all the stuff about it that I think is kind of old and bad. Unfortunately, it doesn't really look like it, at least not yet. Maybe that's something in the cards for later. But for the time being, it doesn't seem like that's a focus of the developer. So yeah, I wish I could just leave the stage by putting out of the map, but you can't. You gotta walk out yourself. You know, I don't remember, was there anywhere else with vines like that? I think that was the only spot I can remember. Because if there's any other vines, I can probably destroy those too, but I can't remember. And with the speed that Tails walks, if you can't remember if something's at an area, it's kind of tedious and annoying to actually walk and check. So, you know. There was, but I don't know where it is. Okay, well... I'm not looking for it. I don't feel like it. Now, what does Spark do? Oh, it's not actually an item here, is it? Ah. Okay. We have kitted out the sub, then, in that case. Well. Let me just make my way through here. So, when it comes to the robot, what we're gonna do is, honestly... Zedjar, does that boss feel any different to you? Because after the flying boss, I'm suddenly wondering to myself, did the dev improve the bosses by just making them harder? I'm wondering if this is one of those cases where the dev's like, yeah, I improved this. And it's like, you made it more difficult. Yeah, I improved it. You know, one of those dev things is like, look, guys, it's way more fun now because it takes way more effort to beat it. Like, not sure I agree with that definition of improved, you know? I mean, for that one boss, definitively speaking, the boss was improved by speeding him up, which, I mean, I guess it made the climb more exciting, but I don't know. I don't really feel like it was the most amazing thing ever to make the boss bother you more as you're climbing upwards. Like, I don't know if that was like I don't know if I would term that as a fun decision. I'm not even sure if it was intentional, though. I remember that boss, not memorable enough to survive my head for a decade plus. That is completely fair. I do like how you still remember the rival character, though. Well, let me just work my way back down here so I can give it another go, I guess. Bye. He's like left. I just realized there's no... Having an odd number... like, having 13 rings is the same as having 14 rings to this.
Hello.
Hello, Xerix.
Yeah, sorry, I basically want a friend wanted me to help them with a shiny hunt, so I helped them.
That's fair.
Yeah, because I have the materials to hunt a lot. I have...
Yeah.
I have been watching the stream, though.
I appreciate that. Well, honestly, I think remake's the wrong word for this, too. Even when it's finished, it's probably not really a remake. A remake, for me, is not... Well, what is a remake for you guys? Remake, I usually think, like, you improve the graphics, you, like, change things up. It's not... But this is more of a remastering. That's a good word for it. What they seem to be wanting... They seem to be wanting to make Tales of Adventure remastered, which... That's fine, right?
I mean, isn't the literal definition of a remake is typically just remastering the original game?
Oh, is it?
At least I recall that's how it was worded. Just Pokemon fans have it differently, I heard, because I heard someone argue how Pokemon fans have it a bit different because they tend to go way beyond with remakes until things like PDSP and stuff like that. They kind of pretty much stayed the same, which was bad. Because it was one of the only games that stayed the same. And that says a lot, because the Let's Go games were different. Even if it had a little less content than Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's... So... But the literal definition, if I recall, it was basically the remastering of the game, or at least make it so it can be played in much more modern consoles. Yeah. It was not meant to be an improvement of the original. It just can be if the console allows it to run better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I am a shiny magnet.
Nice.
Like, I literally found over 200 shinies, and half of them were not by the ability to increase it, literally just by chance of seeing them.
I have found one, besides Red Beardos. So I'm the opposite, honestly. Alright, let's try this again.
Yeah. He was trying to shiny. The friend was trying to hunt for a snivy, and what happened was because he killed a snivy in the one of the new mechanics they added in the DLC, where you can be the Pokemon, walk her around.
Yeah, I think I heard about that.
Yeah, it's cool, but unlike when you do the Let's Go feature, where your Pokemon kills every Pokemon around you except for the shiny, you can't kill the shiny. And he's been annoyed by that until he finally got it today.
I'd like to note that when he raises his hand up to slam the ground, I get hit by that. And of course the bomb probably can hit me too. This is actually a very obnoxious fight, I gotta be honest. I guess I gotta hit the right side of his hitbox to actually be safe myself. This is a very finicky fight, but I guess that's kind of appropriate for the game here. Oh, thank God. Ah!
What?
It hurts you. Tells you're standing a little closer. Alright. It still hurts you after the fight's over. I almost died, actually. I didn't mean to put it that close, but I was like, what?
Imagine you win, but then you die in this.
Okay, I'm just gonna call that a Bowser's ass moment, because that is what I'm gonna determine now. Because you guys remember when I played Isekai Mario and I had the Bowser boss fight, and then I beat Bowser and he just ragdolled on the ground. I was like, yeah, I won. And before I went going to the star, I walked over his corpse, and then I died because he still had a hurt box. His corpse.
Yep.
So I ran to Bowser's ass and I died. You see. So I'm just gonna call whenever this happens that I defeat a boss, but like its corpse or something that I left behind still hurts me. That's a Bowser's ass moment. Okay. From now on, that's what we're calling it.
Bowser Smash.
It is a
Smash
2023
is
highlights. Yeah, exactly. You can see it there. God, Bowser ass. Bowser's ass moment was really the best. It's the best thing to call because everybody that doesn't understand it will be like, what? And then I can explain it.
I mean, I can't blame you. It is a moon can crash and will destroy whoever if it's touched.
Also, I want to remind you, this is a remake seeking to polish things up and blah blah blah, and I almost died to the corpse of the boss. Why? Why? This is like your whole objective is to make this game more polished, the original game more polished. I get that you're in the process of getting it coded in, like the game's not even finished, by the way. So they're in the process of getting things together. I get it, but like the base stuff should be solid at the very least before you start improving things. And this is actually a step back. It's actually messier than the original, in that regard. It's got some. This has some good features. Don't get me wrong, but it also has some real problems. Anyways, I'm gonna equip some. Remember the game where Tails miles per hour created anti-air missiles? Like that sounds so fucking meme. That sounds like a meme, but it's true. Hey guys, remember the game where Tails used anti-air missiles? Like,
I never thought of Tails with that level of American.
Hey guys,
guys,
remember the games where Tails entered the Vietnam War? Like it kind of sounds like it's along the same lines of that, right? like, what the hell, man?
Let's be fair, if Tails did enter that war, he would have won that war by himself.
With his gadgets, maybe.
He would have never understood how this flying fox would function.
So I have like all the sub upgrades now. And Zedra claims that there is somewhere else I can go burn napalm at, but I don't fucking remember where. And I don't feel like looking. So I'll do exactly one more thing. And that is, I will use the lake. I will go back to Lake Rocky, and we will see. I see. So it turns out Spark isn't just instantly usable.
Oh wow!
So is another one of those doesn't work right now, but I don't know why moments. So we have the Vulcan. The mine doesn't work. And the anti-air doesn't work. Well, if I'm out of the water. Still doesn't work. So I'm gonna guess that the reason this stuff doesn't work is because it wasn't programmed in. Yeah. So I think we're done. Let's see, what did the write-up say about what stages it had available? It said it had Polyforest, Volcanic Tunnel, Polymount 1, Lake Rocky and Cavern Island, and Karen Forest. Oh, Karen Forest? Karen Forest exists, apparently. I'm trying to remember how one gets there. I believe we burn something in Polyforest for napalm, and we get to the forest above it. I think that's how you do it. But that means we need to remember where to use the other napalm. And here's where the game starts getting a little bit annoying, because, like, do you guys remember where the other vines were? We probably passed some, and I can show you guys what we're looking for.
It's so unfortunate that Tails can no longer use his bombs because he could be seen as a terrorist nowadays. Like,
honestly, I don't know why they have such a problem with that. I mean, he also has anti-air missiles that I think, comparatively, the bombs are kind of quaint, but, you know.
All of his weaponry are just non-existent in modern games.
But yeah, so
like,
these are the vines, as you can see. They're kind of green and stuff. So we're looking for more of those, I believe. But I don't know. I don't know where they are. Why is my napalm completely silent all of a sudden? Alright, well. Yeah, I believe what we have to do is we have to go deeper into the forest and then, like, go somewhere else. And apparently there's one more level for the demo, so let's go get it. Let's go find it.
I'm surprised. I'll be honest, any character that can just walk around lava and not be overheated is impressive.
Yeah, agreed.
Like,
so
Tails is made of floof.
Tails is, by the way, I just want to say, Tails is, ow, I got hurt sprite is actually quite funny. I didn't get to look at it very long, but when he was falling there, I kind of was like, looking at it, I was like, ah! It was good. But continue what you were saying.
Yeah, the Tails is so fluffy that but yet has no burns and nothing. Like, he is just fire immune until he actually touches the fire.
Very true.
Like,
granted, everybody in the Sonic universe works that way, but so he's not special.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I know he's not special, but if it was real life, those floats would absolutely be turning fire from the heat.
True.
Tails would probably be unconscious and then dies from the overheatness. Luckily, real life physics do not apply to game characters unless the game demands it. Tails has no mercy. When you have this many bombs, having mercy should be the least of your issues. Or likely to be lacking. Like, Tails is capable of being a terrorist in one form or another.
See, this is why people watch Charm Plays games, for discussions about how Tails can be a terrorist.
I mean, all Eggman had to do is adopt Tails, and then suddenly he has that partner who is as smart and can create these bombs just because he feels like it.
I don't think I ever went here. What's this? There has been a few things where, like, Eggman was trying to recruit Tails because he realized how... Oh, okay, hello. Speed boots! Oh, you can go faster in this game? I actually didn't know that.
Oh, man. He has one in SA2, yes, but it was because he basically saved Sonic, which, let's be honest, the police would rather deal with somebody who helped another escape than a terrorist until it's a wet air nearby.
Good news, we found it.
Found it?
Yeah, found the napalm spot. We also found that speed upgrade, which I think I have to equip, so I have to waste a slot in it, I think? Yeah, also, that was correct. Let's see. I mean, it's kind of useful, though. Here, I'll replace the hammer. I don't think it's really necessary. Watch it become immediately necessary. So, with the speed boost on, let's see how fast we move.
Hello, Fair.
Hi, I'm finally here.
Oh my god. Oh my god. 1, it's not a passive item. It takes up an inventory slot. 2, you have to equip it. 3, then you also have to hold B because it's used like an item. I don't know. Like, technically I want this, but also this is useless. Also, it stops working the moment you jump. I wish I could use... I wish that was a passive item. So this,
maybe you're gonna need it.
Fair, this remake is kind of... Well, it's in an early stage, I'll give it that, so maybe they intend to do more of it later, but... Not really seeing the point of this remake existing as a remake so far. It's kind of just the original game, which... I think the original game is charming, but it desperately actually needs an updated version, in my opinion, so... I was kind of looking forward to this remake, that's why I added to the list. I mean, there's a few quality of life features that are better, but it's also got problems. I don't know if you were there for the boss fight I just did.
Nope, I just got back.
Okay, so the second boss is actually really hard. I died to it and had to go back through the stage again just to fight it again.
Oof.
It's the big, I don't know if you remember, it's a big mech that he, like, slaps you with his hand, but then when you knock his helmet or the armor guard off, he starts making bombs fall from the ceiling as well, and he's actually quite annoying.
I have no idea because I never got very far in this game at all. Fair.
Well, anyways, here's what happened. When I defeated him, his chassis remained on the ground. It was like a mech suit, so his chassis remained on the ground afterwards. And I got hurt by that.
Oh no.
Yeah, I almost died, actually. I was kind of fucking around a little bit. Yeah, it was just constantly still hurting me. And I was like, why? And I'm gonna call that a Bowser's ass moment, because Isekai Mario did the same thing with the Bowser boss fight, if you remember.
Bit of a Kaizo trap.
I'm pretty sure the original game didn't do that, which is why I'm calling it out so hard. So in other words, they added a problem. Also, I think that their idea of improving the boss fights is basically... Because I realized that was a goal. I think what I've seen so far is improving the boss fights thing. I think it's like just making them faster or giving them more health. Also, this fair.
Well, let me see where...
Can't they... Like, the original game did this. I'm pretty sure. Where the robot had to go back to you. But they could probably, like, make that instantaneous or something now. Like, just a thought.
They really could probably fix that.
Yeah.
What this game... Looks like what this game needs is quality of life in order to keep the feel.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. I have a stupid thought. Okay. Let's set up a Looney Tunes moment here. Oh, okay. Oh, by the way, the Power Glove doesn't work for some reason, so we actually nearly ended up in a soft lock earlier. I see, we were supposed to use that for that. But I did avoid it, but... Yeah, nearly did. We had to use a spring to get an item, and then also have to push the spring back to get around and still continue onwards, because otherwise you can't go forward. But the spring was supposed to be picked up by the Power Glove thing, or whatever it's called. I couldn't do so, so if I went for the item, I soft-locked myself.
Oh,
so what I ended up figuring out is like if I push the spring very slightly off the ledge, just for a few pixels, so I could spring up to the item, then I could push it back, and that's what I ended up doing.
Yeah, I saw you doing that before I left.
Oh yeah, you saw that part. Okay. I'm gonna try to get this item here.
Oh, Zerix, you've been asked a question.
Huh? Let me recheck. Sometimes things don't load for me. Okay, there we go. Is there some shiny Pokemon violating Starlight in your game? I have about 200 shinies at the very least. Over 200. Which half of them would, or at least almost half to the majority, won't always with sandwiches to increase the odds, so I just so happened to find from the last 2 years.
Also, Tails has weird interactions with slopes.
I
In
saw
fact,
that.
I have so many shinies that I literally had to buy Pokemon Scarlet just so I can have more space in my boxes.
Oh, I felt.
So,
Oh, okay. All the way back over here.
meanwhile, I also completed the Pokedex on Scarlet. I also kept finding shinies on that one too, so I had to stop playing it before I end up the same issues again.
I'm
I
very
have. Go ahead.
I was just going to comment that I'm very perplexed by whatever the heck is going on to the left here, because there's a spring I can push down, and I don't really understand why I should be doing that, but I guess I'll do it. There's also some wind currents, but what are they preventing me from doing? I don't really understand.
Maybe it's an aesthetic that you're going very high.
Maybe. The spring is quite useless here, so I guess I'll push off the ledge. Now, which way should I push it now? I guess right.
But yeah, so now I have both of the games specifically so I can like have extra space. That's kind of about I have Scarlet. So I did use it to shiny hunt the Path Paradox for a friend and for myself. And that's kind of about it.
Also, I fucked something up here, but I can fix it. Okay, there we go. I pushed the spring over too much and created a problem for myself. Alright, let's see. There we go. I guess I was trying to get this, the triple bomb.
It's useless here. I'ma push it off. Cat behavior.
Wait,
That's
what
right.
what is this? Okay, so as we all saw that when I interact with a ledge, Tails gets so happy to find the ledge and he rolls around on it. But what happens if the spring goes on the ledge? Oh, it's kind of as a wall, not letting me push it anymore. Okay. Right, there's gotta be a reason to push this spring along, right? Oh, no. I mean, technically, I can't push it any further. Uh-oh.
The devs had an idea, but they didn't really catch it fully.
I'm also noticing a lack of enemies, so I can tell, like, this is the reason this is the last stage of the demo is because it's not finished, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an enemy. Oh. Oh, good. Tails was invincible during that Axel robot usage. That's good. Watch out! It's a tangerine, Tails! Watch out! You're allergic to citrus, Tails. Watch out! No, seriously, it just looks like a tangerine. Okay,
Let's be. If Sonic were to be allergic to something, let's just something we better hope that Eggman isn't evil enough to take advantage of that.
Which is how the birds figure out his weakness.
They're like evil cookies.
It's a good way to define them. I like that. So, by the way, the hammer seems useless. Like, there actually is a situation where I feel like the hammer could be very useful. And that is if you need to hit something, a block above you, because the bombs, you only drop them if you're... Well, no, even the bombs can be used in a slight arc. Enough of one to hit something above you. I did not mean to... I didn't mean to send it back. I'm very annoyed. Alright, let's see. Okay, well, yeah, that's helpful. There.
Also, I guess I should clarify with the shiny ones. I at least all 200 shinies that are different for the Pokedex. To clarify as well.
Oh my gosh,
still...
Sedgar. It's useless here. I'm going to push it off. Scap paper. You know, I've been talking to Essler about the fact I do actually have quite a bit of cat behavior thinking about it too. I'm kind of Shiba Inu-like in that sense.
Or Husky.
Huskies can be quite dramatic. I suppose that's a good way of putting it too. Shiba Inu specifically because I feel like they're very cat-like dogs. It's not here. Oh, death. Okay. Oh no! Okay, so it wants to send me upwards, huh? Well, I guess it's good to go there. Let's go ahead and go there. That spike damage is not... That spike damage could have caused me to die. Yeah. The good news, guys, I found Sonic. He was in this capsule. I don't know what that does.
That's right, there are Sonic and Knuckles capsules.
What do they accomplish, I wonder?
Maybe they're for completion? Maybe?
I mean, they are part of completion, but I don't know what they do.
Isn't this set before Tails meets Sonic?
I don't know. I don't remember. You might... So, if somebody wants to... Listen, there's a website for video game manuals. It definitely would have Tales of Adventure on it, if you want to go look for it.
I think it was. I thought it said something about it going to save Sonic or something.
This whole big game manual archive place. Proton Torpedo! Man, Tails is more... Tails definitely has enough armaments at this point to like do a whole war himself. My goodness. Also, is this a dead end? Actually, maybe this whole forest only existed. Maybe it is just a big old dead end with nothing besides, you know, items to pick up. At least it's a dead end in this version, because that's what we'll have to find. I didn't see any other paths, did you guys? Pretty sure
I can't.
Not really.
I think I've been pretty
Not
thorough.
really.
Unless there's one over here. Let me double check, I guess. Can I go off this? Can I go this way? No, see, that ends over here, too. So. Yeah, I guess that's that, then. I mean, demo. I don't think the demo has, like, a... You beat the demo screen or anything like that. I think it's just... Yep, there it is. Also, I like half the items I picked up actually don't work, and I think that's purely because it's a demo. They just didn't code in half the items, basically. So I can certainly find a lot of items, but I can't use them. That being said, I would like to know if Sonic does something.
Other than going fast.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'm missing a path or something, but I'm kind of done, I think. Oh, and good thing I said that. Because I had a video card reset. Yay!
Great.
Yay! Love when that happens. Well, let's look at the rest of the items. You guys can see the screen, right? My VTuber's broken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. No big deal.
1,000-yard stare and
Let
all.
me just equip Sonic. It's fine. We'll
I'll
just...
see your.
I'll reset it after I finish the game, because we're basically done anyways. I was going to
Well,
go
how
to
your
Quali first.
character-
I want to see... So, here's Triple Bomb. Doesn't work in this version. Here's Sonic. Doesn't work in this version. Anyways. That was
Honestly,
Tales
the
of
way
Adventure.
how. I was just going to say your character looked like a staring with the 1,000-yard stare, but to me it looked more like he just realized a certain fact in his head, and he's trying to see if the information is correct in his head, and he's over imploding with information. It's just one fact.
Charm stack overflow.
I may as well reset
Yeah.
the VTuber now. Charm stack overflow. I mean, I've seen plenty of those. So sure, why not have one for myself? Alright, it should be working again. Now, my preview window is broken. Fortunately, because this is Sage, I can restart the broadcast. There.
And it
Okay.
won't mess up for video?
It might break it up if I'm unlucky, but it doesn't really matter because I would be cutting the videos apart anyways. You know, think about it.
True.
Every game is its own video, so it doesn't really matter if it breaks or not. The main problem with it, of course, is it creates another announcement, but that's all right. But Tales of Adventures Remake, it's in early stages. Its basic framework is working fine. I mean, this is a proper PC. This isn't just emulation. This is a proper open source, by the way, PC project. And for that nature, on the technical level, it is interesting. gameplay-wise, it's basically just the Game Gear game. Admittedly, I should point out, I don't know why I didn't think of addressing this, but I wonder if will they have well, it has widescreen support. That's what I'm trying to say. And that is something worth noting. I don't know why I didn't think of bringing this up until just now, but yes, here's the thing, the Game Gear wasn't widescreen, so, well, it was kind of wider than the Game Boy. What was the dimensions of that thing? Hold on. But it was still basically 4:3. Very close to it. So, I guess the biggest thing that this remake has provided us is it's provided us a widescreen version of Tales of Adventure. The current version, though, I imagine there will be more to this later, right? I'm not going to judge this too harshly, but right now it doesn't really feel like a proper remake yet. But it's under development. And as far as the base framework goes, I think this is pretty solid. It does, control right. It does run more or less right. There's a few issues. There's a few glitches here and there, but more or less, this does seem properly like Game Gear Tales Adventures. So, as an open source framework, they have gotten that pretty well made, right? And the game's got a decent amount of content so far, so they're working on adding that. I guess what their plan is probably just to add the entire game to this project, and then once they're done with that, to perhaps then create polished changes and stuff. I guess the confusing thing to me is I expected some of those features I was mentioning, like, quick selective items while you're in a stage, the ability to exit the map without losing progress. I would have expected that stuff to be part of the base framework before they started adding the game back in, basically. But it does not seem to be that is the direction the project is going, or at least that's not the order of events they are doing things. I do hope they consider actually adding quality of life features to this, though, because while they've added a few, the widescreen is perhaps the most significant because it lets you see more things around the level, and given that this is a Metroidvania, that is actually extremely helpful. I still think that there's more quality of life features that they are leaving on the table, and I don't know if they intend to add them later or if they don't intend to add them at all. But if it is the latter, I heavily recommend the dev to reconsider. While it would change up the game a little bit, perhaps making it a little different, a little more easy than the original version, I think it would make them far more playable to modern audiences if we had, things like this. Like, here's some basic suggestions, just in no particular order. First off, the ability to switch out my equipment, whether I'm in sub mode or in Tails mode, while I'm in a stage, because there is more equipment for solving puzzles and opening areas than there are slots to carry them. So it really sucks in this game when you enter a level with a loadout, run into an obstacle you can't deal with, and go like, shucks, and then you have to leave, change your loadout, and then come back. It's not fun. It's very tedious. For its time, it was fine, but if you're going to remake the game, I really think you should be able to switch up your equipment on the fly. Another thing is that I don't know about the boss balancing. Supposedly, the bosses are going to be rebalanced and improved. So far, the only thing we've been able to definitively notice, and thanks to Zedjar for pointing this out, is that the boss that dive bombs us apparently does it way faster with less delay frames between his attacks, which doesn't really seem like an improvement so much as a difficulty mod. Not really fond of that. If I don't think improving a boss should involve, I made it harder, unless of course it was way too easy to begin with. And another thing I would address is, first off, the window scaling isn't working. Supposedly I can switch this to window mode, and supposedly I can scale the window, but it is stuck in full screen no matter what I do. So that's probably a bug and something I recommend they fix. 10.9. Okay, I was wondering what that shape actually was. The Game Gear screen is a weird shape, so Sonic lets you spin dash. Oh, okay. I don't think he did in this, though, because he wasn't finished, but because a lot of the items aren't added in yet. What was the other thing I was going to suggest? There was one more thing. Yes, it's very simple. If I quit the map screen, please let me save my progress. If I pick up an item in a level, and I'm like, all right, I was only revisiting for this item, time to leave, don't make me walk all the way back out. Let me quit the map screen. Another quality of life feature that I think is desperately needed here. I don't see why I should have to manually walk myself out just to just to keep the item I picked up somewhere. Oh, and also when you're using the robot and you're done using the robot, why in the hell do I have to wait for it to slowly float back to Tails? Let me switch back to Tails instantly. The application that it has returned to Tails is already there. It doesn't need to be there in that slow motion way like the original. So yeah, I guess my main critique is, hey, if you're remaking the game, improve these quality of life features, because if you don't, I don't really understand the point of remaking it. Now, granted, that's just my opinion, but in my opinion, those are the main three things, the main quality of life things, is robot coming back to you faster, being able to exit to the map, and actually keep the items you picked up in that level run, and most importantly, being able to switch your items on the fly, so the gameplay is actually flows smoothly like a traditional or more modern, I suppose, Metroidvania would do. Because most modern Metroidvanias allow you to swap your equipment on the fly, and the ones that don't make it a tedious as fuck process to switch your abilities all the same. Or at the very least, what you can only swap at a certain location is not required for forward progress. In this, it is. You can de-equip something and then find out, oh, I go through half a level and be like, oh, I need this item. In fact, there were several instances in this demo run where you would have seen that. If I had de-equipped both my bombs at any point, for instance, I would have been able to make some progress. But more obtusely, if I had not equipped, say, the robot, if I had not kept that equipped all the time, I would have been stonewalled and had to go back at several points too. I kind of knew what items were really important, at least from the base beginning set. So I kept a hold of those and try to juggle them smartly so that we had the ability to progress. And for the most part, that worked. But if I was less smart about what items I brought, I would be wasting a lot of time. And that's not very fun. But what do you guys think? Any last opinions, Fares, Eric's? Others too in the comment?
I do like the idea of the game, but how at least some of it. But frankly, I'm not the biggest fan of the gameplay, mostly because it's not my kind of game. Mm-hmm. Not because it's a good game, but I don't know. But I can say at least they are trying something new, but that trying is questionable at best. At least I think.
Yeah. Please don't make dead bosses deal damage. Yeah, that's a glitch. Oh, there's one more quality of life thing I would say. There are certain items that I personally think should not have to be equipped, such as the speed shoes. I think you should just... it'd be great if Tails could have like a personal equipment thing in addition to his inventory, and then you could just see the icons of his personal equipment. It's like, oh, he has a speed shoe now. He got the speed shoes. He's just wearing those now because that he can do that, you know? Like, but yeah. So, what do you think, Fair?
I didn't play much of the original one because I think maybe I didn't have time or something. I don't know, but it seems okay. I mean, it's a valiant effort to remake one of the very few games that stars Tails. Mm-hmm. But yes, it definitely could use some quality of life things to make it better.
Mm-hmm. You were quite excited about this because I think you were thinking that this was like a full-on remake, right?
Oh yeah, I wanted to see what they would do, but nope. It's just it's pretty much a port, is what it is.
It is, and I will commend them on. It's not emulated, so I commend them on the engine. You know, like, but yeah, there's not much here. If you thought the original Tales of Adventure was a little too old and slow for your taste, this remake in its current form is not really going to make that any better, as you saw for this playthrough. It took a while, but we didn't really do a whole lot because it's just kind of a slow paced game. Not knocking it for that for its time. I think it was pretty inventive to have a little Game Gear title trying to be a Metroidvania starring Tails. Like, that's quite a cute little idea. But in the modern day, I feel like you got to do more of this, you know, if you're going to be remaking this, especially. But that was Tales' Adventures, or rather Tales Adventure, because the S is not in most of the titles. It's just there on the title screen for some reason. But yeah, Tales Adventure. Maybe keep an eye on this remake project. Tales Adventure Remake. It doesn't say remake here. That's another thing too. It keeps throwing me off because this is the official title. This is Tales Adventure Remake. You think they would have the word remake in there so that it kind of differentiates itself, but it just kind of doesn't have that yet. But that's fine. Maybe later it will say that and be less confusing. But I mean, keep an eye on this remake. Maybe it will turn into something quite fun. Because if this does get polished up and this gameplay does get quality of life features and stuff, I think this is a cute little Metroidvania that's worth playing. If they finish this up, if they improve it, we'll see where they go with it. And I might check it out at a later stage if they've made it. Well, honestly, I probably won't check it out later stage unless they're completely done. At which point I'd like to revisit and see what they've done with it. But that was the Tales of Venture remake, and I hope you guys enjoyed.
Good night.